Headout is one of the leading travel experiences platform that lets you find a variety of activities to do across a number of countries around the world. Today, I'd like to talk to you about how we were able to boost organic revenue by over 1,000%, as well as drive an uplift of new users by 368%. Starting with a problem statement, as with any other travel company, Headout suffered from a lack of demand during the COVID era and were looking to better position themselves to make sure they were able to address the growing demand in the post COVID era. The mutually agreed on objectives for our SEO campaign with Headout was primarily to drive a 3x growth in organic sessions, achieve a 2x multiple in terms of organic new users, and driving a 5x multiple in organic revenue. With the objective set out, we laid down a simple 5-step process where we would work on collecting data, finding trends which would give us insights into the user intent universe, and finally testing out our hypothesis with our content strategy and deploying it across the Headout universe. Starting with building data, we worked on identifying keywords that would match the user intent in the post-COVID era, which let us identify roughly 20,000 keywords that would generate traffic as well as revenue for Headout. From a planning perspective, we outlined 3 types of pages where we would be executing our content plan on, starting with blogs, which would be our top of the funnel pages, would be vastly informational driven, and our category pages would focus on user interactions, which would be a mix of informational as well as transactional in nature. And finally, we would have product pages where we would have content that's very transactional driven to make sure that the users would be convinced to go ahead and click on purchase and proceed down the transactional funnel. And what happened next? We primarily focused on optimizing these 3 content pillars across a wide variety of on-page optimizations to make sure that they were visible for the keyword queries that we were targeting. However, there was one initiative that we call it the secret sauce that was missing from these content pillars, and that was internal linking. Given the early success with our internal linking strategy, we rolled out a large-scale attempt at making internal strategy a lot more exhaustive in its approach. For this purpose, we introduced an algorithm with a sound logic that would be contextually driven, making sure that the 3 content pillars would be more closer to each other from a linking strategy, as well as supporting each other for ranking better on Google search. From an implementation perspective, we started with resolving any issues related with crawling the site by implementing simulated user bot agents, which would look at the site as Google would. Secondly, we worked on resolving any sort of cannibalization issues given the large scale of content we were implementing across the 3 content pillars. Thirdly, we worked on enhancing the internal linking by introducing a sound logical algorithm, which would make sure that all the user intent was taken care of from a navigational perspective. Finally, we worked on enhancing the user friendliness of the web page by introducing a list of hypotheses which was geared towards driving conversions across the 3 content pillars which we had built on. In terms of results, we were able to scale Headout's organic growth from roughly 500,000 users to close to 2 million users through the time of deliverable. From the KPIs that we had set out earlier, we were not just able to meet client expectations, but we were also able to exceed by delivering over 5.1x in terms of organic sessions, 4.7x in terms of new users, and driving over 11.8x in terms of organic revenue. Finally, here's a screenshot showing you the real numbers from the point of engagement to the point of deliverable, where we were able to drive organic revenue as well as sessions across the board for Headout. Thank you so much for the opportunity to present this nomination. We appreciate your time